Folks, learn how TV star Larry Hagman of I Dream of Jeannie and J.R. Ewing in Dallas fame went from spending $37,000 a year to run his ranch down to $13 a year to run that same ranch.
As J.R. Ewing on the hit TV show Dallas, Larry Hagman boasted of Big Oil's big profits.
I tell you, it is a can't-miss operation.
But today, at 76, Hagman has gone green.
Well, this is the inverters.
Running his 25,000-square-foot home in Ojai, California, on a mountaintop north of Los Angeles, solely on solar energy.
It's amazing stuff. It just sits here and it absorbs the light from the sun and becomes electricity, and it's just a fantastic, wonderful way of living. You can see down here, that's a pretty big array too, you know.
On his farm's 44 acres, 3 sprawling solar panels power the fountains, heat the indoor pool, and everything else that used to run on traditional electricity. Hagman, who spent $750,000 on the project and got a $300,000 credit from the electric company for doing it, says it's an investment that's paying off big time.
A couple of years ago, my bill was $37,000 for the year because I have a lot of pumps. It's a little farm. And last year it was $13.
Hey folks, welcome back to 60 Minutes in Maryland. My name is Greg Arnold, and coming up next is a segment on solar energy. Solar energy is big business. More and more people are realizing that they can harvest electric from the sun through solar panels and sell this electric through net metering back to the utility companies.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter.
Following visionary companies are just a few that have converted to renewable energy all over the world. General Motors has practically paid back the United States TARP loan with revenues earned from solar electric. Japan has been a leader in the use of solar for over 20 years. Now, California Toyota plant leads the way in the United States currently. Now, please take note of the roof on the Nakamura Japan Tokyo plant. It's completely covered in solar. Ferrari is not far behind in realizing the importance of using a valuable natural resource. Arizona is practically 100% renewable energy now. And Coca-Cola realizes the importance of refrigeration with free electric, low cost. Have you ever wondered why Kohl's can afford to have such quality merchandise at such reasonable prices and have so many sales all the time? Could it be because they have very low electric bills? And the same might be said for IKEA. And let's not forget our friends down on the eastern shore, the Purdue's. They're doing their part to go green and reduce the carbon footprint created by factories billowing fossil fuels into the air. And the third largest retailer in the world, Tesco, certainly isn't using solar to collect electric for their refrigeration plants because it's losing money. This stuff makes people money, period. Even the entire Vatican has gone solar, and the Pope himself has put solar on his own private residence. And more recently, FedEx Field, home of the Washington Redskins, and Anne Arundel County Community College have installed solar parking canopies.
Most homes get electricity from the local power company, and the local power company is part of what is called the grid. These power lines are part of the grid. The electricity from the grid enters the home through a meter. By adding a solar energy or PV system to a home, the home can generate its own electricity. First, sunlight must be captured and converted from light to electricity. That is what PV cells do. By grouping many cells into panels, enough power is generated to run a home or business. The electricity that is created by the solar panels is DC, or direct current electricity. DC electricity must be gathered together and changed or inverted into AC, or alternating current, which is the type of electricity found throughout a home. This is done with a piece of equipment called an inverter. The inverter is a very important part of the system. Oftentimes, batteries are attached to the inverter to store excess power for use when there is no sun. The inverter provides the electricity necessary to run the home. If there is excess power generated by the PV system, the inverter can push the extra power out onto the grid. Normally, the wheel on a meter turns one way as the power from the grid enters the home. But with a PV system installed, it's possible to turn the meter backwards. This means that instead of a home buying power from the grid, the home is selling power to the grid, and this is usually done in the form of credits. With the right PV system on a home or business, the expense for electricity, which could be many thousands of dollars a year, could be reduced to nearly zero. Solar energy systems are good for the environment, and they can save a lot of money on energy in the long run.
What is the most efficient and cost-effective way to go solar? What kind of products should you use? Which modules should you use? Which inverters should you use? Solar Up Now will be happy to install any brand you are comfortable with. However, we've done all the homework and we've collected all the data over the last 10 years. Here are a list of the do's and don'ts when it comes to solar. Do not connect multi-numbers of modules to single large inverters. If one PV module has a problem for any reason, the entire string goes down. Result, no electric harvest until repaired by a licensed electrician. Don't use expensive tracking arrays, too many moving parts that require maintenance, and at best, they have a 5-year warranty. Do not install anything that is unsafe, just like a large inverter, which is hooked up with a direct current 210 line, very dangerous. Or anything else you cannot repair yourself with a manual. It's our humble opinion that a ground mount solar array similar to the Purdue system shown here, and the combination of Sharp solar module and N-phase microinverters, in conjunction with the GCA polished metal reflectors that will bring you 40% more electric harvest. This brief demonstration will show you how the GCA reflectors can actually increase your electric harvest by 40%. Listen to the sound of the hairdryer. This next brief demonstration will show you 24/7 real-time monitoring by N-phase inverters.
The N-phase Enlighten Monitoring and Analysis System. At the top of the screen there is an overview of the installation. This shows a summary of the current power production, the energy produced for the day, for the month, and for the lifetime of the system. This is the level of information available with most traditional monitoring systems on the market. What's unique about Enlighten is the per module data in this section. This section shows the solar modules as on the roof. Production information is provided for each module on a current, daily, monthly, and lifetime basis. In this scenario, the modules have each produced above 160 kilowatt hours thus far. However, this module has produced well below 100 kilowatt hours. And these three in the lower right have produced less than expected as well. Enlighten provides the analysis to understand why. A useful tool is the time-lapse feature, as shown here in the upper right of the screen. As the sun rises, the panels begin to wake up. The change in color indicates the increase in power production as the sun hits each module. As we can see, the modules in the lower right corner continue to stay dark until later in the morning. This is most likely caused by shading from surrounding trees on the property. This module, on the other hand, begins to darken and lose production earlier than the rest of the array. The reason for this is that there's a chimney on the roof in this location,
generates
which also
income.
explains why
Left
there is
click
no
right over
module
here
located there.
on revenue.
There is another dimension of data available to analyze the production shortfall. We can view the time lapse over several days. This shows if the patterns occur at a regular time each day, thereby pointing to a regular shading event. As we can see, there is indeed a repeat occurrence of the same pattern. This is a different pattern than what we would see if the shading occurred suddenly due to some falling debris, for instance. But the real power of this N-phase system is that system owners do not need to perform this analysis at all. Enlighten does the work for the owner by continuously monitoring and analyzing each module and its performance. Enlighten will analyze the cause of production issues and will send the system owner or manager an alert when a condition warrants attention. With N-phase Enlighten, owners of solar energy systems now have a powerful ally to optimize their energy footprint.
This combination of outstanding products will ensure that you'll have no lost revenue due to tracking device malfunctions, inverter meltdowns, and/or PV module meltdowns. In order to get federal, state, and local incentives made available through the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009, all products must be made in America. How can solar make you revenue? Number one, you can totally eliminate your electric bills. Next, every year, every month, or every day, you can sell your SRECs, your Solar Renewable Energy Credit Rewards. And for every dollar your home or business makes or saves with solar, increases 20-fold. Yes, that's right. For every dollar, your home's value goes up $20. Think of it, if you save $6,000 a year, your home's going to go up $120,000. If you're saving them with the business, $1,000 a month, your business will be worth $120,000 more. Don't take our word for it. Hear what Larry Hagman had to say about solar.
A couple of years ago, my bill was $37,000 for the year because I have a lot of pumps. It's a little farm. And last year it was $13.
Solar Up Now is a licensed, bonded, and insured Maryland-based company managed by CEO Mandy Arnold, a University of Maryland and Jones International University graduate. Mrs. Arnold and her staff at Chesapeake Productions, Chesapeake Home Designs, and Solar Up Now would like to thank you for watching this presentation.